reflections, ghosts in the crowd. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it. Come drag me into the void. Let my circuits decay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. You build a
Alrighty, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Said it in the wrong order. Good morning, good evening. I did it again! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and potentially good night. Whew! Tried to Truman Show it there and totally blew that. Anyway, welcome to the show, folks. Today we're doing a little bit of a bonus one. I wasn't sure where to fit, say, an AC EVO review into the live stream, considering I kind of have my own sort of plans for what games I want to cover, when I want to cover them. But I do think AC EVO deserves a fair shake on stream, because I think live streamed reviews tend to be the most authentic. You get real experiences, real reactions. There's no clipping and editing and being able to filter out things I said that I might have not wanted in a video. You just get like a raw experience. So, AC EVO. They did recently take away a key feature. The biggest reason that I got the game personally was the single player side of things, because hasn't really been like a very, very good single player experience in any kind of racing simcade, arcade, simulation. Although I don't really hold full-blown sims to the same standard of single player as I do some of the more simcade type titles like Gran Turismo 7. But like Gran Turismo 7 scratched a definite itch for a lot of people for single player modability with street cars. That, in my opinion, the biggest thing about GT7 that I do miss are the street cars and the ability to make bonkers horsepower and try and get them down the Nordschleife. That was always my thing. 1500 horsepower, street cars. Take them down the Nords as fast as possible. That was kind of like what I spent a lot of time in Gran Turismo 7. And that is an itch that I would like to scratch. And I was hoping AC EVO was going to do something like that. But it does seem like they've changed course. And a lot of people don't like it. Looking real quick here. Let's go to the store page. Mostly negative are the recent reviews, where prior it was mixed. So, let's see. Not recommended, not recommended, not recommended. Removal of campaign. We got a couple positives here, though. Actually, we got a good amount of positives that popped up, so that's good. By the way, none of these reviews here actually affect my opinion. I couldn't care less. But this is a very relevant metric in terms of, how the game is doing. That being said, none of it actually matters to me. I judge based off solely playing the game myself. Prefer a raw experience than a fake one. I agree. And yes, you can do that in Forza as well. I haven't dove into motorsport nearly as much as I did Gran Turismo 7. Due to, Forza problems throughout the development cycle, and then, the entire studio being sort of disbanded. I do have a poll going in chat, folks. Is AC... Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's cool. And I don't think I can edit it. Yeah, I can't. Is AC EVO good? I put AVC EVO. Proofreading, folks. You should always proofread. Anyway, we have yes at 86% and no at 14%. So, I guess without further time wasting, let's jump into EVO. Mind you, I have not fired this up since the day they released 0.4. So, I'm likely going to have to reconfigure everything. Again, raw experiences, folks. My biggest complaint about the state of AC EVO prior was the pretty terrible performance issues with the game. Alright, let's see. Loading time optimization, DLSS updated to version 4.5. Gameplay, ongoing rework of tracks, yep, UI, blah, blah, blah. New content, Audi Sport Quattro, BMW M2, Dallara, Caterham, Porsche 911 GT3 RS, Toyota A86, Volkswagen, Watkins Glen. That's where I want to spend most of my time today, is on Watkins Glen. That's one of my favorite tracks. Continue. Like I said, got to do it all over again. There we go. And for the sake of not giving you all everything, even though it's on most things. Let's just do it this way. Be very, 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 Here you go, folks. Now you know. I need to kill the in-game music. It is awful. Yeah, get me to the audio settings, please. Please. Master, turn you down to 50. And then music, turn you off. Oh, it's so much better. Whatever music they have playing in the background was rough. Paul Ricard is a good track. Yeah, it's just not my jam. I'm all about Watkins Glen if I had to pick one of those tracks. Speaking of music, even the music that I have playing is not exactly the best. Stick with that. Young boy. Let's see. Alright, first things first. Let's go to graphics settings. Let's get this thing working correctly. Gameplay, frame rate limit. Let's go... no limit. So another thing about this too, VSync breaks the game. Let's see if that bug's fixed. Leave it at off for now, because we don't want to be limiting our frame rate in any way. We want full screen on, triple screen off. Oh, our resolution is incorrect, however. Make it 4K, because that's our native frame rate, our native resolution. Alright, so 4K, unlimited frame rate, menu frame rate limit. Let's turn you off. I didn't see that one. What are we getting in the menu now? Oh, okay, so all it does is go from 30 to 60. Got it. That's fine. I don't need more frames than that in the menu. Alright, so upscaling mode. Let's go DLSS, since they supposedly added 4.5. Ultra quality. Multi-sample anti-aliasing. Let's see what it looks like under DLSS first. This max. Level of detail max. I tend to leave the experimental stuff off. VSync, Harry, will set it to whatever your monitor refresh rate is. And mine's 144. So this is a hard lock in the game right now. In the menu, 60 FPS. Static level of detail. Oh, that must be under the experiment one. Okay. Max cars. Let's try to not break the game all at once. Let's see what... Whoa, where'd we go there? You know, let's screw it. Let's stress test. I have the best hardware you can get, so I mean, if I can't do it, volumetrics, environment reflection, car reflection, shadows, ultra. Again, experimental stuff off. I'm not dealing with experimental stuff right now. As far as I'm concerned, that is, you know. Although, if I remember correctly, the grass density one was an absolute frame crippler. Absolute frame crippler. So, we'll see if any of that's gotten better or not. Motion blur quality, off. Mirrors, mirror resolution, max. LOD quality, ultra. View distance, max. Optimized rendering. Changes the rendering frequency of mirrors. If disabled, multiple mirrors will have an extremely high performance cost. I don't really know what to do with that, honestly. Mirror captured mode fixed. Number of dash displays. Show all. We'll deal with this here later. I gotta see what it looks like with DLSS on first. I could technically put it on DLAA, but we'll go DLSS first. Apply. Morning, AJ. Not that you're much older, but older is older. True. You're going to beat me to the finish line. All right. Off to a great start. All right. Thought we crashed for a second there. All we did was just get booted out of the game for some reason. But anyway, let's go back. All right, so visually in the menu, looks superb. It looks fantastic. It reminds me of like what a Forza Motorsport or a GT7 potentially could look like on a PC. So far, sitting in here in the garage, looks really good. Let's tackle controls. All right, so EVO wheelbase. All right. P1000s, throttle, brakes, clutch. Go to the handbrake. Handbrake. Bound. Oh, that's right. You got to fix this in the settings too. You have to invert things. It's really weird. So like right now, if you notice, when I hit the throttle, it turns throttle off. So, all right, let's see. Steering is good. The throttle is what's different. I forgot where that's located. That's settings. It's like an invert it or something like along those lines. All right here, invert axis. Invert axis. Invert axis. Handbrake. Okay, what just happened? Over here. Invert. Thank you. All right, apply all that. Now let's go back to the wheelbase. We got that stuff down. Paddle gear up. Paddle gear down. Clutch. All right, no clutch. Cool. I don't have VSync on though, Harry. I didn't put it on yet because I want to get a frame rate counter. So if you look, unless it went on and I didn't see it, the vertical sync is set to off. So it's currently off, and I'm still only getting, well, currently 45 frames in the menu, so that's pretty good. Off to a good start there. See, I gotta understand this. So if you look at my telemetry right now, it's stabilized, but it was 600 as the high and like 20 as the low. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to this. All right, camera. I forgot which one rotates the camera. I remember it was something weird in this. There was a weird word they used for drivable. That's what it was. The word drivable is literally the button you bind to cycle through your camera for driving the car. Don't ask how they got to drivable, but that's what they got. All right, so UI, up, down, left, right. Confirm. Cancel. Apparently it works because they just canceled me. So, alright, so that works. Alright, we'll start there and we'll see if we're missing. I'm sure we're missing things. Like pit limiter and things like that. Actually, you know what? Let me check pit limiter. Pit limiter tends to screw you over when you don't have it bound. Pit limiter toggle. There we go. Apply. Alright, that's good enough for now. We'll come back to controls as we need them. But let's check gameplay. Yep, English. Replay quality high. Duh, max. HUD. Alright. Back. What do we got for vehicles? Vehicle hub. Alright, so the newest cars they added. Do I really care about the newest cars? Let's just see what they got in general. Ford Cosworth. Alright. A whole lot of Ford. Chevrolet. Camaro. Lamborghini. Huracan. Okay. Have we driven any good cars in this game yet? I will say, the last time I played it, I did like the, where's Ferrari? Right here. The F1 car. The F1 car drove pretty good. I'll say that. Let's get in a GTB. The old 296 GTB. Street variant. Let's just see how that feels. Add to my cars. Right, back. Alright, drive, single player. Yep, mount panel. Oh, no, sorry, not mount panel. What am I doing? Where's the Glen? There we go. Alright, we want the full real track there. Assist beginner. Alright, let's see what we got for beginner. Automatic ignition. Yeah, we'll leave that on. I don't care. Automatic gearbox off. Automatic pit limiter. No, I've bound it. Might as well use it. Automatic clutch. We'll leave that on. Clutch on start's fine. Standing start assist. Sure. Automatic throttle blip, sure. Automatic headlights, wipers, ideal line. For the sake of... we'll see how the line is. It's a legitimate point. I know sim racers hate it, but I also don't give a shit. Alright, clear weather. Static weather. Let's get in the game. Let's try it out. It looks really good, although that the concrete there looks kind of blurry, like that in general. There we go. It wasn't loaded in. Yeah, it's still loading in actually. All right. All right, we're not 1-to-1 here. So I want to say my preset is 900 on the wheelbase. So let me see if I can adjust that. I want to say I saw that somewhere. Settings, yeah, right here. So set this to 900. Apply. Force feedback gain. Let's put you at 100. That's probably going to regret. Maximum regret. Resume. Are we 1-to-1? Yes, we are 1-to-1. All right, let's see how the GTB feels. Wow. right. Oh, wow, yeah. A lot of force feedback. That's fine. Let's try it out. All right, I'm gonna... Let me turn that force feedback down. Try 70. Been a minute since I've driven a street car. I really need to drive like a race car to give a better feel of like, you know, what the game is supposed to feel like. Because this is considered the stock street car version. So just so you all know, this is getting legitimately worse frames though than PMR. There is definitely a bit more detail in some things. But there's also a bit more aliasing. Now, I can turn on the other aliasing as well. Or anti-aliasing, I mean. Jesus, come on. Oh, Jesus. Wow, where's the tires? I didn't want to... Alright. Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't understand what they're seeing for telemetry, over here, you have 138-ish right now is what I'm getting for frames, sitting in this exact spot. That's the average. 99, or in this case, 66 now. This number here, basically, is the low. This is the high. That's determining this average number, right? Because this is called... The easiest way to tell when you have poor frame times in a game is when these numbers are very different. So if let's just say hypothetically I was getting 140 frames, right, average, but both of those numbers were nearly 140, that means it has really good frame time and its delivery is very, very smooth. So I've noticed in PMR, over the course of their updates, the overall average FPS hasn't changed, but these numbers have tightened up quite a bit. And that is what you visibly notice more than the average number. And all games are like that. Frame times are so important to smooth delivery. It's why game consoles look so good at 60 frames, because the frame times are really good. Stock car sounds pretty good, I'll say that. Remember, this is a stock car. This is not a modified street car. This is a stock car. So overall, the sound quality is pretty decent. AC has always been good with sound, though. Kunos, I should say. Good rumble strip force feedback. I'll give it that. No complaints there. Car is super swayy, though. I don't know if that's just, again, because it's a street car. It's a stock street car. And I haven't driven one in a while, but... So let's do this quick. Let's put it in DLAA, which is true 4K and not upscaled. So graphics, DLSS, oh, wrong thing. DLAA, okay, so that movement right there goes from a 1440p render that's upscaled to 4K to just straight rendered at 4K. Let's see if it's noticeable and what the actual frame penalty is. Now, you guys probably won't be able to see these small changes here, so you gotta kind of rely on my word, because the compression of YouTube is going to be more aggressive than anything else. Frame penalty, like right here. Look at this. Look at, we're in this double digits right now. Keep in mind, too, I'm streaming with the same video card, so I lose about 20% of my frames. At least in other titles. Now let's see what we... Because, by the way, there's more I can do in the graphics, so let's do this. Settings, video, graphics, right here. This multi-sample anti-aliasing is going to destroy the frame rate. 8x. It's going to look better, but say goodbye to the frame rate. Never mind, it didn't hurt it that bad. That just means it's not doing too much. Yeah, 84, 87. It does look better, though. Visibly smoother. Anytime you run anti-aliasing to eliminate jagged edges, it will always make an image look better. So this is the best it's looked so far. And ignoring the, like, experimental stuff, I don't... anything, if it's labeled as experimental, I'm not turning it on. Because I'm not a beta tester. The game itself is already in pre-alpha. So... experimental stuff, I'll save that to the others. But look at the frame rate. We're in the 60s now. So I can tell you from a frame rate and performance standpoint alone, I would turn multi-sample anti-aliasing back off. And run it back in DLSS and not DLAA so I can get some frames back. But overall, though, the imagery, the performance is kind of rough. But the imagery, the visuals look really, really nice. You can tell this is a next-gen title, I'll say that. I gotta give, again, fair reviews, folks. Performance, not that so good. Visuals, very good. We'll leave it at max settings for now, though, just to kind of get some better takes. Like, see, right now, we're in 110 frames. We were just in the 60s at another spot of this track. That is an optimization requirement. But the game is not anywhere near full release, so grain of salt. Yes, the hood is pretty nice. Let's see if I can get rid of the hood. Oh, I just broke my windshield. Oh, I destroyed my suspension too. I can't get off the wall. There we go. My wheel works right now. Oh, I gotta bind my shifter, I guess. I can't even stop. The car is so broken. One thing would be nice, they haven't applied it yet, is the ability to turn off damage. I'm sure they plan on having that. But for the sake of, like, the early access stuff, you can't turn damage off right now. Exactly, ETR. Exactly. You got it. I'll give you a tip. If you enable your CPU's iGPU... Let's try a different car. Oh yeah, of course, I gotta go to all vehicles and all that jazz again. I'll look more into that, Turbo. I do know that software encoding, which is using the actual CPU, will destroy video game frame rates, because the CPU is so much more required to have on standby than the video card. What's a new car they added that ever? Oh, you know what? I remember liking this Maserati. I do remember liking this car. So let's drive this car. Add it to my cars. Gotta add. It's like every time an update comes out for this game, anything you've done in this game is gone. So let's turn the line off. Line's just, I don't want to look at the line. Sorry. Nope, not what I want to do. Let's see if this, since I'm in a different car. Curious if the dash works. So far it's working. Let's see if the rev limiter will work. Hey, look at that. Everything works on the dash. Nice job, Kunos. At least you got the telemetry stuff dialed. Oh, God, force feedback. So far, this car I still like driving from the previous. God, force feedback is crazy heavy, though. Do we know if EVO has independent car force feedback tuning? Because this car has like twice the amount of force feedback as the previous one. You know, the thing is about the game being good in 5 years, like graphics-wise with hardware. That's not good because the dynamic of video games is kind of changing when it comes to hardware. Like, I'm on a 5090 right now. So, for reference, that's 10 times the power of a PS5. 10-fold. So, unless they do some optimization, this game's going to struggle to run on a PS6. Because a PS6 is not going to have the power of a 5090. I mean, I can technically look at trends and see how much performance each console generation has gained to kind of determine where PS6 might fall. I still don't see it being a 5090. I mean, considering PS5 to PS5 Pro went from 10 teraflops to 16 teraflops. A good gain, 60% or so, 66%. But meanwhile, a 5090 is 108 teraflops. So, PS5 Pro is still nowhere near a 5090 from just raw GPU compute. Oh, we're done. Nope, we still got control. PMR, modders anyway. Please bring this track to PMR. I love Watkins Glen. Run individually by Bob Ross. That's funny. We'll just paint a happy little tree right here. A happy little frame rate. Yeah, my biggest complaint about AC Evo from day one has been its performance. I'm one of those people that I notice game performance before I can really pull a game apart. Telemetry works, though. Everything on my dash is populating correctly, so that's good. I mean, here's the real question, though. Where's, that one? Here we go. Do we think, like... I don't have it bound to look around the car. Do we think the graphics look good enough over ACC? Because I think ACC is still a beautiful game. Do we think this looks way better than ACC to justify the massive loss in performance? Because ACC is a pretty demanding game, but it's not like this. Max settings, I get double the frames in ACC. And it's really polished on PS5 as well. All right, let's go back to the menu. See some comments here. I was looking for AC to much when it comes to console. Yep, agreed. Probably a good simulator in 5 years, and graphics cards are much more powerful to paint over the problems with the engine's performance. What engine is it built on? Uno's game plan, release the game unfinished and let modders fix it for free. Yeah. So, all right, let me get to your comment first because I skipped. On my 6900 XT Ace, I read that one. Looks like Bob Ross. Yep, I would imagine. Because again, I'm on a 5090, guys, and that isn't meant to be like a flex. That's meant to be like that's the best you can get for a video game. And so what you're seeing right now for frames, again, you could argue you can make the addition of maybe adding 15 to 20% of those frames back because I'm streaming. I'm streaming in 1440p with 50,000 bitrate, and all that's coming off the video card. So add about 15 to 20% of the frames back. But again, that is the best possible performance of this game you can get with today's market. On my 40-inch Super, nice to see about a DDR5. I can get 2 frames per second on Nordschleife car park and VR. Nice. With my eyes, PMR looks better than that, but it might just be... So, PMR has one... I don't know if it's filter. I don't know what it is. PMR looks amazing. But there are certain aspects of it that don't look good at all. And it feels like it's almost got like a filter over it or something like that. I don't know if it's color palette. I don't know what it is. But PMR has incredible graphics at its core. It really, really does. And I noticed the graphics with every patch. They're not really saying much about it, but graphics are getting better. And it's really just a little bit of polish here and there, you know? So it's hard to say which one looks better. They both look really good, but for different reasons, in my opinion. Let's try... What else we got for cars here? All vehicles. They added the BMW M2. That's a popular one. Let's get in the M4. This is a popular car. Add to my cars. Original AC with Pure or another filter still looks better than ACE. Kuno's biggest competitor is their own modded baby. Yeah, but the thing is that you can't blame Kunos for what modders are still doing with old games, because modders are essentially capable of being developers, you know? Or they could be developers, you know? You're doing the same thing. Modding is like this word that people use, but modding is the same thing as developing. You're changing the game and updating the game. So the community is far bigger than a staff of developers. So holding a developer sort of, I don't want to say hostage, it's the wrong word, but holding them to the same level of endless years of modding support, what they can do in-house, I don't really think is a fair comparison, because modders have endless time, and there's endless modders to do things, you know? So I don't really like to do that in terms of compare developers to modders, because while, yes, developers are being paid, it's their job, modders have an endless amount of time and an endless amount of passion and no deadlines and all this stuff to make changes to games that, you know, I'm doing a terrible job of defending it, I know. Also, that's what's happening because I'm in full screen. When I click off the screen, it does that. Got it. The own engine that they've just developed, that's why it's so bad. Gotcha. I think there's experimental settings to make the game look better. I think Kuno's engine is a heavily modified Unreal 5 or AC EVO and AC Rally. Well, I don't know if AC EVO and AC Rally use the same engine. In fact, I don't think they do. I could be wrong, but... So should I turn on the experimental stuff to see? Yeah, I'm not sure someone at S4 would spend 60 to 80 hours playing with tires just to figure out what does what. Exactly. That's reserved for you, sir. So let's turn on, confirm that. Start session. And we'll turn on the experimental stuff. Drive. Ooh, that's a good sound. Video. Right, menu frame rate. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Graphics. We're in DLSS. Everything's maxed. Filmic, that's just filtration. Experimental level. All right, let's see. Now that's technically maxed out graphics. Unless depth of field quality, let's do that. Motion blur, we don't want that. All right, let's see how the game responds to the experimental sliders. You got to be really specific, Harry, because some of the sounds in PMR are the best sounds I've ever heard in all of racing. So you got to be very specific when you say sounds. Yeah, we're pretty low on FPS right now. I would say this BMW sounds better in this than PMR for sure. So I don't see any shadow popping right now. But Jesus, look at my frame rate. That's insane. But there is no popping. Yeah, the imagery is like locked. So that's actually really good, because pop-in is... I hate pop-in. I absolutely hate it. But there's no doubt it tanks the frame rate. Our lows are in the 40s right now. That's crazy. Does look good, though. But does it look that frame rate good? That's the real question. It came out of nowhere. Yeah, exactly, Renovadio. Devs can't compete with modders. Turbo, I don't know if you saw my settings. I'm running at native 4K right now. And I don't have DLSS on, I have DLAA on. So I'm running at maximum anti-aliasing on all fronts. And DLAA, in my opinion, from every game I've tried, has looked better. All right, I gotta get out of this car. It's broken. Across every sim. MSAA is always demanding because it's ancient. It's a very old way of doing anti-aliasing. TAA is much newer, and DLAA is essentially NVIDIA's TAA. So it's safe to assume, like, look right here, resolution 4K, DLAA right here. The upscaling mode, it's not upscaling because DLAA is native. Right here, if you look over here, I can't do it at the same time. That's going to look worse for sure, but I'll do it. I'll do it. We'll turn it off. So MSAA at 2x. Like, if I were to pick DLAA or MSAA being one on and one off, I would always pick DLAA. It always looks better. So if I had to guess right now, this is going to be much more aliased than it was before. Frame's gonna, yeah, it's way more aliased. Way more aliased. Frames went up, as expected. Turned off a whole bunch of anti-aliasing. But there's now a whole bunch of alias lines. Even I can see it in the fence, the railing. Just revving the car. Whole lot of alias lines. I don't know if you guys can see that. I actually disagree very much, Turbo, on the MSAA versus the other ones. MSAA is super demanding, and it's a very, very, very old way. Multi-sample anti-aliasing is a very old way of anti-aliasing. I think DLAA is the best I've ever seen, personally. But this is... honestly, I couldn't look at this. This is way too alias for my eyes. The wing is shaking back and forth. Yeah, the fence... dude, the fences are killing me right now. Yeah, let's do this. Let's max out MSAA, and then we'll turn it off, and we'll turn on DLA and see which looks better. So we'll go MSAA, maxed. Frames have gone, as expected with MSAA. Less aliasing, but I still see a bunch of it. In the grass, where the fence lines are. It's gonna be harder to see on stream, so... When this thing comes into boost, it loses the rear tires pretty easily. Yeah, fence line is still wicked aliased. So, let's do this. Settings, video, graphics, MSAA off, DLSS back on with DLAA. So that's native 4K. That's NVIDIA's TAA right there. Still aliasing. Fence lines look better, but I still see alias lines. Right there especially. The curved fence line is where you really see the alias lines. So our frame rate is much higher, though, than MSAA. Now, if you want the image to look the best, crank MSA on top of it. And that will... MSAA at 8x with DLAA, there's basically no aliasing. There's also no frames either. So, go back, video, 8x MSAA. And now there is virtually zero zero aliasing of any kind. Image looks really good. Just no driver skill. This car is real loose in the rear. Yeah, real loose. Real loose. TC's at 3 by default. I don't know what it should be at, but I'm barely rolling that throttle in right there. Yeah, but you have to understand too, Turbo, I'm playing right now on an 83-inch 4K panel. So turning that down to 1440p, I'm not on like a, a 27 or 32-inch. For me, that'll burn out my retina trying to look at a 1440p image on an 83-inch panel. It'll look terrible. I need to have the 4K native, or at least upscaled to 4K of some kind. Let's try Nords. Let's see. Clear. Let's try a different car, too. All vehicles. Let's get back in a street car. This is supposedly, I mean, it's not really a street car, but it was added. I do not have frame gen on at the moment. I didn't see frame gen in the menu. Let me check. That's FSR. Yeah, I don't see any frame gen support in this. Unless... Yeah, so this is all upscaling right here, and then the last one is DLAA, which is native. Nothing about DLAA. I mean, nothing about frame gen. It'd be nice if they implemented frame gen. I'm a proponent of frame gen, especially in scenarios like this where your game is optimized like shit. Round wheel it is. Alright, let's see. Okay, I hear you, Kunos. Woo! Woo! Little Kineme's coming out right now. Alright, give it a go. Oh, okay, alright. On sound alone, this might be my new car for this game. Oh. Good Jesus. This is a good sounding car. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dead. Damn. I'm telling you, sound is the key to my heart. I can look past all the problems listening to this car. This is the best car in the game so far. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. This sounds crazy. This sounds so good. Oh man, it drives so good too. Alright, Kunos, you finally put a car in the game I like driving. Whoa, shit! Oh no, oh no. Hopefully we still have a little bit. No, not today, Grumps. Today I'm not even, today's technically my day off. I just wanted to play some, yeah, my car's jacked up right now. Let's go back to the pits. Back to pit lane. Alright, let's make the game a little more enjoyable to play first. So, let's turn off the experimental shit. Oh. Shadows, experimental stuff off. What was the other one? Go back to DLSS. Ultra quality. Let's leave MSAA off for now. Let's get some frames back. Yeah, we're going to sacrifice some visuals right now, but so be it. I want some frame rate. Oh my god! Back to the pit lane. See, if they could turn off damage right now, that would be a nice little, like, you know... I know it's a half-finished game, technically, so I can't hold them accountable for things like that. But a little checkbox, just turn damage off right now, so I can kind of feel the game out and not be punished by one mistake and have to go back to the pits, you know? This car does not like curbs at all. And on Nords, it's kind of mandatory to be able to scrub curbs a little bit, you know? Yeah, it doesn't like curbs at all. This car sounds good. Realistically, though, like the graphic detail right now is how I would play this game. DLSS on ultra quality, which should be 1440p, upscaled to 4K. No MSAA to hurt the frames, and no experimental settings turned on. This is a playable frame rate. It's still chunky though, the frame rate. Like the 120 is not what I'm seeing. I see the 78. Yeah, the shifts in this car are amazing. This car sounds good. Like this is an example of a car that like would, like this is like 787B in PMR level sound for me. You don't like that. Oh, man. I want to drive this thing like a Honda now. I want to hit that rim loader every single gear change. Don't even care. Sue me. Drive it like a Honda. You know, for authenticity purposes, let me do this. There we go. Let me use the bathroom real quick. Oh, man, I'm such a creature of habit. It's so easy to spot that, like, I like the different cars, you know? GT3s, yep, whatever, cool, awesome, yay. Yep, look at me in my Me Too car. Then I get into something like this, and I'm like, I'll never drive a GT3 in this game again if this is the cars they're going to give me, you know? Same way with PMR. All right, so now we activated our, we bound our sequential, so there we go. Get the mouse out of there. I don't know what this will look like in this view. Might look a little weird. Why is the camera right there? What the hell happened there? That's not the right. Hold on, I gotta fix this. I don't know what happened here. What the hell's going on with this thing? I don't know. I'll look at that later. I'm just not gonna run that view. That's all. I don't know what that's about. That's a new one. Nothing changed except the camera's just not correct. And it has the same settings as it did before, so. Oh my god, force feedback. That just like broke my shoulder. That was cool. Sick dog. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, that one hurt my shoulder. I just want to shift the car unnecessarily. Oh wow, slid right out of that. The handling of the cars in this is not bad. Not my favorite, but not bad. Nords is always my test. Curbs. This car gets thrown off curbs. It like bounces off of them like they're walls. Oh, curb. And here's where the tires go away. They've adopted an iRacing aspect there. I don't like the tires. So that car grips really well. I like the way it drives. It drives really good, actually. But that slide out right there, there's like, once that slide happens, you might as well just let go of everything because you have zero control of anything moving forward. And that's very iRacing-like, you know? Going on too bad. That would be interesting if I was in my skivvies. But no, I wouldn't stream naked. Yeah, removing the career mode for me was a big loss for this game. Big loss. Let's try, shoot. What's a good car to test? Not the Mini. Oh, they added this. So let's see how the new Porsche is in this. Got to switch the wheels. We're gonna do this right. Audi Quattro is fun. I'll give that one a shot. I don't have VR Turbo. I have yet to dive anything near, and I probably honestly won't get into VR. I don't really have much interest in it, to be fair. Not from, like, the way I do things, from streaming and stuff. Like, streaming and VR doesn't work well. And, you know, maybe if I had a dedicated motion rig and all that stuff for it, I'd consider VR. But at the moment, I try and keep it more on the video game side of things. Used to the Dallara. Gotta slow it down now. Jeez. Drives like a Porsche. Yeah, coming out of that Dallara into this, lost a lot of soul. Oh, so this is a round wheel car. Interesting. Yep. That's that car. It's like a Porsche. Who knew? Yeah, see, like that car, I mean, like, it's there. People who like those cars might like that car. Like, for me, like, the Dallara just crushed it. Like... So, alright, let's see what else that could... No, all vehicles. The Quattro. We'll try that one at some point. That Dallara is just good, man. Well, for the sake of, I want to say I drove the Cup car before. Felt pretty similar. Alright, so let's get in... Let's get in the F2004 first. Game's still boring. I mean... Oh, that resolution's got to pop in. There we go. Yeah, this is... They have some optimization to work on here for sure. I wouldn't say game is boring. I haven't found a reason to play it yet outside of what I'm doing. Just like, for example, inside of a couple hours in this game, for me, it doesn't check any boxes that other sims don't already. Like, this would be my RaceRoom comparison. Like, I want to see how this experience right now feels compared to RaceRoom. Yep, F1, baby. F1 cars are, like, they really are. Any F-Series car, really. Modders for PMR, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So far, this and the Dallara are the better experiences in AC Evo so far. Force feedback in this game is very inconsistent, I'll say that. There are moments where, like, the force feedback is really good, and then there are other moments where I'm like, what is the force feedback doing right now? Okay, we're good. This would be a dream come true. Taking an old school V12 F1 around Nords. No higher experience for me than that right there. No interest in driving a modern F1 car. Screw the hybrids. This is where it's at. That was fun. Oh, baby. Downshifts don't sound very good. Upshifts sound good. Upshifts sound very good. Game's got potential. There's no denying that. They really got to work on their performance and also sticking to their word. All right, so that car checks the boxes. So we got two cars we like so far. Two cars we like so far. The Dallara EXP and the F2004. Let's try the modern F1 car. See if it how it feels by comparison. As far as, yeah, I know it needed that campaign. As far as reasons to play this for me, like there are like that in the Dallara so far, right? But repeatability, I don't know the reason to play it yet. Like I probably won't pick it up until the next update. That's the reality of that situation, you know? All right, let's see how the modern F1 feels by comparison. Yep. That fits. Cold tires. No TC. Yeah, already not the same. Already not the same. Handles better, but the experience is just duller. Yeah, this is, it's alright. It's not the F2004, that's for sure. F2004 is a way more fun car to drive. This car is easier to drive. Outside of the very, very low speed traction issues, this car is very easy to drive. It's an F1 car. Who knew? This car is literally point and shoot. Also, I did a little diagnosing with the LMDHs and PMR today. Whoop! And figured out why the shift protection, or where the issues are with the shift protection, because who here has noticed that the That was weird. What's going on, Rowdy? Does it have custom lobbies? Let's check. I have no idea. Multiplayer, special events, daily racing portal. The server list is going to be... Let's see. These are just races, I guess you can join. Special events. These must be like challenges, if I had to guess, at quick glance. Let's see what Daily Racing Portal is. That's a website. Okay. So that just popped this up on my screen. So it looks like there's no custom lobbies. But you can probably get in on this stuff, maybe? Like join up on these, perhaps? Without me spending a whole bunch of time on this. Alright, let's see what else we can test. This is a good car to try. This car is hit or miss in a lot of sims. Sometimes this BMW is an incredible car to drive. Other times it kind of sucks. It's actually one of my favorites to drive. Or in one of my favorite experiences to drive this car is actually Gran Turismo 7, ironically. A lot of other sims I think have missed the mark on this car. This car should have a lot of character to it. And character is the kind of cars that I like to drive. I do have Wreckfest 1, just not installed. Think I can make a server myself? Maybe. Do we know if I have to pay for it, or is it something that... You know, let's put this in H pattern. Oh, I don't have it bound. Never mind. We're good. I don't have to drive it anymore. It sucks. Crazy that I'm right now for that car. I'm holding it to the standard of Gran Turismo 7. Let's try this Quattro. I'll know if I'm going to like a car almost immediately. Almost immediately. Give me a couple turns, give me throttle, give me upshift, give me downshift, and I'm going to know if I'm going to like driving the car or not. And I didn't need to see any more out of that Evo. I already like this one better. That car, it sounds better, but the driving of it felt pretty janky. I'd give that car a better shake later, but for now, we got a lot of cars here. Let's see. I very much like road cars, Fway. Just a lot of games do them pretty terribly. You know what? I've driven my fair share of... Let's see. Driven my fair share of these. In real life. Let's see how it compares. Try the M3 CSL. Alright, I'll give that one a shot. Alright, so let's see how this compares to the few that I've driven. Heavy force feedback. Actually, I want to go H pattern for this, but I'm not bound. Damn it! I don't know why there was no turn there. Let's go back to the pit and make this thing an H pattern and give that another try. That didn't feel very good. That did not feel very good at all. That car has way more control than that in real life. That was ridiculous. I hadn't even gotten to anything difficult yet. All right, let's see. Shifter. First gear. Second gear. Third gear. Fourth gear. Fifth gear, sixth gear, and then where is my revoice? All right, let's also put the ball on it. It was stiff and also had zero grip. Now, I don't know what it's got on it for tires. I'm sure it's street tires, but the ZL1 comes with pretty solid street tire out of the box, like from the dealership. It just felt way more useless than it should feel. Oh, you know what? Let me bind TC as well, because I need to be able to adjust TC. Okay. Cool. Guess we're not doing that. It's just not binding the buttons. Whatever. Drive it like it doesn't have TC on, even though it says TC1. Oh, that's right. I forgot the H patterns in this game suck. What I'm talking about. I'm in third right now on my H pattern. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing. Back to sequential. Nothing. 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 This is a problem that's still in the game. H patterns break the game for some reason. All of a sudden, no shifting works. Yeah, so I gotta quit. Good to know they haven't fixed that problem. Yeah. Start the session again. Things should go back to normal. Nothing yet. Guess we gotta quit the game. Alright, let's open the game back up. See if we can get our controls back. I have it connected to the base. This is an EVO problem. I have all of my stuff individually connected to my computer through a USB hub. Nothing is connected through my base. But as soon as you go to use the H pattern, this was a problem before, it just disables all shifting. The game will no longer shift the car, unless it's automatic. I'll try the Caterham 485 next. Still no shifting. The fuck? Literally nothing works. The paddles don't work on the wheel, the sequential doesn't work, the H pattern doesn't work. And recognized by the game. Look. So if you're worried about the hardware being the issue. Let's see if that resets it in the game. Nothing. 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 This is an AC EVO issue. Confirm my sequential works. Let's go back to settings, controls. Go over to my sequential. Right here. Look. Downshift, upshift. Downshift, upshift. Clearly registering in the game. So my gear is working. Shift 1, Gear 1, Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4, Gear 5, Gear 6. Back to the game. No gears. No nada. No nothing. Oh, we went into first. All right, so the H pattern's working on it right now, even though this game. We have also, now we have no force feedback, by the way. 0 force feedback. Still can't go. There is second. I feel nothing to the wheel. This is so jacked up. Probably because I shut the... So I will say this. This is an issue with ACC, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's an issue with this. If you turn your wheelbase off while you're in the game and turn it back on, your force feedback's broken. So now I have to close the game and open it back up again. Not even 2 hours and you've broken the game. All right. All right, so sequential doesn't work. But going into H pattern does work. So did, like, H pattern disable the use of everything else? All right. Got our force feedback back. H pattern still does not change gears correctly. So you have to use the clutch. And you have to shift super slow. That would have been a gear. That would have properly engaged a gear in real life. God. See, this is how I quickly get pulled back out of this game. Alright, so let's get rid of... Let's see what the assist is on, because I'm pretty sure I have the assist so you don't need the clutch. Automatic clutch, on. On. Let's go to another car. I've already given up. That was rough, guys. Not gonna lie. I just want to be able to use my paddles for sequential again because this game does not know what to do with an H pattern. There's got to be something in the settings that broke it. That could be it, Eagles, now that you say that. So let's do this. Good job, Eagles. So if you assign the H pattern, can't use anything sequential anymore. Good job, Kunos. Good job. Dude. See, now we're getting down the list of all the broken cars. So far, there's two cars. Two cars that I like. They drive great. So far, everything else drives like shit. I shouldn't say everything else. GT3s are okay. Yeah, Grumps, I'm playing AC Evo, man. Come on. The whole point of my stream today. And the devs aren't watching this. Alright, let's try this Cataran. Alright, a little more gentle on gear change. Wow. He wants to kill me. Force feedback is so inconsistent in this game. This car has such heavy force feedback, and then other cars feel like there's nothing there. Why? 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 This car's rear grip is strange. Not predictable. It drives pretty good, but then out of nowhere, it loses the rear tires. This is rough. I'm not gonna lie, this is rough. car handles quite nice. It's got a very inconsistent rear tire like grip feel. You don't really feel the rear losing. You have to wait to react to like the car's motion. Not missing too much, Kenobi. The two cars that I've driven... Actually, here's the one thing you're missing. Well, actually, when did the F2004 one come out? Let's put me back in a better mood, because the past few cars I've driven... That one wasn't bad, but I don't understand the rear grip of the car. It's very unpredictable. This Dallara EXP, though, this thing is the balls. This is my favorite car in the game so far. By like a Texas mile. Well, I shouldn't say a Texas mile. This car by a good amount, then the F2004, and then everything else kind of just falls in line after that. This car. This is what's up. This is the one thing you're missing in the newest update. Reason to play it. Oh, forgot the curbs though. Let me restart that since I just wrecked my car. Only thing about this car, you cannot touch curbs. Cannot touch curbs. I don't know if that's by intent or an oversight, but the curbs are like walls. I don't know why. This is the car of Evo right now. Oh, I forgot the rev limiter. Yeah, I don't really go by hands, though, because I turn all that shit off. From an immersion standpoint, my wheel is the wheel. This is how I'd rather play it right here. So the bad things are most of the cars kind of drive like shit, and the performance is pretty terrible. The good thing, 2 of the cars are amazing. This and the F2004. Now, I obviously haven't driven every car, but so far, those are the only 2 cars that I'm, like, wowed by. Oh! Oh, the curbs. Curbs kill this car. Anyway. All right, anything else I want to test before I call it? Let's see. All tracks. Watkins Glen is the newest. I guess we can see what this game's Monza looks like. Maserati's good. GT2A. I haven't tried all the tracks, Kenobi. There's a lot of things I haven't tried. Force feedback in this game is very strange. Very inconsistent. Car to car. I can tell you that I like the GT3 driving better in ACC. There's just no front end in this car right now. Zero front end feel. Nothing. It's gone. Nothing there. Nothing in the front end whatsoever. It has a very similar balance to RaceRoom, but it's not done as good. Yeah, I'm just... nothing. There's nothing in the front end. Like, look at the wheel turning by comparison to the actual car. It feels like it has the balance of a street car. I think that's what I'm feeling that I don't like. It almost feels like the suspension in the car is kind of dog shit. Like if I'm chasing like what's wrong with the way this car feels, the suspension just feels very hard to say. There's nothing in the front end. You understeer super easy. Yeah, so I would say this is not my best GT experience. They added the M2 in this update, so let's see how this feels. I typically don't like M2, so grain of salt, but we'll find out. Decent sound. This car has way more front end feel than that Mercedes I was just in. This already feels like a better car. I have to wonder if it's because it's a newer car. Slow as balls, though, but We'll get there. That's another thing. This car has a substantial amount more force feedback, resistance anyway, static resistance. It's not really detailed. Than that Merc I was just in. Game has very, very, very inconsistent handling, tire models, and force feedback throughout all the cars. Like, this car is better to drive. It's not perfect, but it's way better to drive than that AMG was. Missed the balls out of that braking zone. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things right now with EVO. I've experienced some good things, you know, but outside of those few things, I don't think the game has given me a reason to play it again until the next update. Let's try this Lamborghini. So far, all the GT3s don't drive as good as ACC. I want to say AC Evo. ACC. So, here's what I want to do quick, to prove my point. I'm going to do a few laps in this car, and then we're going to jump in the Lambo in ACC. We'll also look at the frame rate too. Car is terrible for that turn. Alright. 153.2. So, well, not that the lap time is really a real good comparison, but for the sake of why not, 153.2. Try this. Alright.
Green light, go, go, go.
Oh yeah, we also have frame rate limit on, I believe. Hey, look at our frame rate. And we're max settings in this. We weren't maxed in EVO. Brakes are already, like, insane by comparison. Graphics, though, are definitely better in EVO now that I'm doing a back-to-back. Definitely better in EVO. Dude, the braking is so much stronger in this. I'm braking at the same braking zones I was in EVO. The driving is so much better. Doesn't even compare. ACC's driving is so much better in the GT3s than AC EVOs. Alright, let's go for our lap. I have not raced for Aston Martin. Wish I did, but I did not. I have not raced professionally for anybody but myself. Slower lap by over a second and a half. Street cars and professionally I build and race motorcycles, although I don't race motorcycles anymore. I have retired from competition. Primarily just build them now. This is my racing, moving forward. Risk-free, safe racing. This is a slower lap at the moment. Whoa! Do not like the old sausage right there. I don't need to apologize. I'll absolutely accept positive rumors about myself. There's so many negative rumors about me that it's nice to hear a positive one every once in a while. Even slower. So even though we're slower in ACC, the overall driving experience is just better. That's just a better experience. So, does AC EVO have potential? Yes. It's just got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work to do. Jump in one more time. Make sure I don't miss anything worth missing. Or worth not missing, or whatever. Graphics are you have to go back and forth, but graphics are noticeably better in AC EVO for sure. It definitely feels like it's the next iteration from a graphic standpoint. A lot of the driving is worse though. And by a lot, I mean the GT3 stuff. Let's see what else we got. This car is so good, the F2004. Guess we could try the Ferrari F40 LM. I have the MX-5 too, for comparison. Play LMU was on ACC AMS2, so here's the problem. None of them are realistic. None of them. They try to be. They try their best to be. But at the end of the day, that's weird. The fence line is broken. You notice that? That fence is not supposed to be black. That's supposed to be see-through. That's interesting. Fence line is, interesting. So far, so good. What is up with the fences, though? So my top 3 sims are AMS2, RaceRoom, and PMR for my most enjoyment. Are you chasing a ranked experience? Are you chasing us just wanting to have a good time experience? You know, when you say you want to no life the sim, what are you trying to do with it? This car is aggressively loud. Dead. How are the tire conditions on this game? Honestly, all over the place. All over the place. So I'd say that car's got some character. Yeah, the driving experience in this game is very much all over the place. Oh, I definitely prefer PMR's handling over EVO. EVO's handling is like, pick a car, and it's different. It doesn't feel like it's all operating on the same system. Like, this car is amazing. Like, 10 out of 10. In EVO, anyway. This F2004? Oh, you're going to be waiting for a while on the full release. They're already way behind. And, this is an example of a good car in this game. I don't know what's up with Watkins Glen being broken right now. The only thing I don't like about this is the force feedback in this car. It's just almost non-existent. Nothing right here. Tried pushing to see what I could do in that turn. It almost took it all. Almost took a complete wide open throttle sweep, but not quite. Waiting for a hot minute for full release. Let's see. Yeah, ACE looks a lot better than AC Evo. Wow. AC Evo looks a lot better than ACC, but you have to play them back to back to really kind of see it. So a completive experience is hard to do because no sim does everything. As far as the devs responding to feedback on this, I have no communication with them whatsoever. So I honestly don't know. Dave, hold on. Let's do the Dave Cam test. Although this is the wrong car to do it with, but... That's a workout trying to drive like him. Let's go back to the pits and try it, because my car's all jacked up. Alright, let's do the Dave Cam test, right? Yep. Does exactly what I thought it was going to do. Oh, he was at 3,000 RPM. A different car. This is a workout, I'm not going to lie. Man. Or you just drive it like it's supposed to be driven. And crash it. I do have F125, yes. I haven't played it in a hot minute, but yes, I play F125. Hoping to see open world update. Yeah, they've been overpromising and under-delivering for a while on this. So far, in my opinion, the Dallara EXP, the F2004, and maybe the F40LM are reasons to play this. Maybe the Caterhams, maybe some of the older cars. I haven't tried all the older stuff. But, like, there's nothing to do in this that you can't do in anything else. Like, not for nothing, go play RaceRoom. Like, let's jump in RaceRoom quick and try and duplicate that experience. And that's not to hate on EVO. EVO is not a finished game. But everybody always asks me, why don't you go play EVO? And do what? There is nothing in EVO right now that I can't do in another sim. And those other sims have more things to do. I don't know what that car will be the equivalent of in this. That's the only thing. Because these are the actual V12s, but they're the 90s version. I don't know. I've never driven this car before. Let's see what this car is like. RaceRoom's incredible. Good thing Evo's gonna have open world career mode to differentiate itself. Oh wait. My problem, Steel, I'm just gonna call you Steel, is that I don't like new F1 cars. I like old F1 cars. New F1 cars are boring to me. I don't know what's going on here. Here we go. So, what is this car? I don't know. I've never driven this car before. Can't see shit, though. Oh. What'd I just do? What is that? What just happened? What view is that? That was weird. This is definitely not what I just drove. This is way slower. But like, this is RaceRoom. It looks better, runs better, and there's way more shit to do. So that car is not the one I thought it was going to be, but I'm glad I drove it because now I know what it is. In my opinion, RaceRoom has the best F-Series cars. They're not thorough, there's not a lot of them, but the ones they have are just incredible. If you're on PC, I highly recommend RaceRoom for a potential all-in-one experience where you want, because of my three favorite sims, which is RaceRoom, AMS2, and PMR. RaceRoom has the best ranked play right now. It's got a very, very large selection of cars and tracks. Not as much as AMS2. It's got great graphics. It's got great polish. And it's got great F1 cars. This is my favorite F1 car in RaceRoom. And it's harder to drive than the one in EVO, which makes it feel better. Unfortunately, though, guys, console players, it's always going to be like that. Not going to be able to get around that. If sim racing is like your ultimate, you know, style of video game goal, you really got to work towards getting on PC. There's no way around it. Notice the frame rate? We're locked at 144 right now. Because I have it like that. That's what my panel is. Not deviating a single frame. Yeah, that's a pointless-ass simulator. Computers are not hard to build. I would never buy a pre-built, ever. I think everybody... Oh, there we go. This is a very good point, Kenobi. I almost called you KW. In my opinion, RaceRoom is still one of the best driving experiences in sim racing. Oh, I wish the game was more popular. I'll say that. I genuinely wish this game was more popular. Because it is good. That only way most people get to play with a 4090, 5090? Yeah. Like the hybrids in this. They're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. Ugh. Steering's way off right now. I gotta get out of F1 mode. Not for nothing, Kenobi, but if I know you're all in about doing setups for content, you really should do setups in RaceRoom as well. They're a lot more precise than, say, PMR. I hear you on the time thing. Oh, so don't I. Listen, I'm Team PMR. But the thing is that people have a habit of, like, picking a team, and that's their only team. I'm also, Team RaceRoom, and Team AMS2, and even Team AC EVO. I want them all to do good. But I spent a little more time with PMR because, for one, there's a lot of fun to be had there, and two, the game deserves some positive press. It's kind of gross, honestly. I try and give the devs as much feedback as possible when it comes to PMR, because they listen. And I can assure you, I am not the only one, which I know there are some people out there that like to think that I have, like, this creative control over PMR. Couldn't be further from the truth. I actually want to do a quick test on this. Want to see what the rev limiter is at on this car. So about 82 to 8,300. Yep. So I've been trying to figure out, Kenobi, the shift issues, the shift protection issues on PMR. And I'm wondering if it was like a time delay. It's an RPM issue. So this car right now is spinning about 8,200 RPM on the limiter. And the required RPM for a downshift, let's see again. About 7,100 RPM. So if the rev limiter is at 8,200, which is the highest you can rev the car, and the maximum RPM for a downshift, an allowable downshift, is 7,100. That's an 1,100 RPM difference, right? So I did this test in LMU as well. The car goes same roughly 8,200 RPM, and right at that 7,000, 7,100 RPM is when it'll allow me to downshift. In PMR, the car will go up to 8,500 RPM, but then the car has to be at 6,600 RPM for the shift to work, the downshift to work. So there's 800 extra RPM of window that you have to decel before the game will allow you to downshift. So that is the shift protection programming in the game needs to be tightened up, that window of RPM. You don't necessarily have to lower the rev limiter, but you have to keep that like 1,100 to 1,200 RPM window rather than have like an almost 2,000 RPM window. So it's because like it's really, really, really aggressive, the shift protection in PMR, to the point where I can't downshift in time approaching corners. But the feedback that I just gave you, I already gave to the devs. My feedback, I'm never going to drive an LMDH. But if in every other sim, an LMDH does something that seems wrong in PMR, I try and make sure I address it. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot going on with the shifting there. Because in prior patches, the shift protection wasn't even enabled. So, all right, so 50 votes are in. Is AC Evo good? 60% say yes, 40% say no. So fairly divided, but on the more positive side. Oh, shit. That's it for me, guys. I'm done. Today was a bonus stream. And I know what I'm going to do. I'm sending you over to Gamer Muscle. I think. All right, boys. It's been a good one. I'm tired. I'll be back on tomorrow morning for my normal stream, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For now, go enjoy Gamer Muscle stream, and